It's your favorite sports chica, Carolina Teague, and this is episode 15 of League of Our Own. Welcome back. It is January 4th. Happy New Year, guys. 2023, a new year, and I'm here at VodPod Media with my guy, radio husband and producer, Gylan Jackson, making sure everything is running smoother than olive oil on a baby's behind. We got a lot to talk about today, but the main topic really is Damar Hamlin and that atrocious, horrible, horrific, terrible injury that we saw happen, this past, what was it, Monday? It was Monday Night Football. Yeah. It was
the injury happened on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, Monday Night Football.
Yeah, during the first quarter, so.
It was just really sad, and I know we're starting off on a sad note, but I mean that's really been the talk of the town right now lately is what's going on with him.
Yeah, so kind of let's recap. I mean, I would say that a majority of America and the world kind of knows what happened.
Right.
I don't think anybody really I don't think as many people saw it as we could imagine. I think there may have been a few 100,000 that were watching, a few million that were watching it, but like really paid attention to it. Mm-hmm. I don't think a lot of people realized. Nobody knew how serious it was. Period.
Yeah.
Like nobody knew.
Nobody knew, and what was happening that day, the Spurs were playing at the same time, and if you guys know, I cover the San Antonio Spurs. I'm going to be, they're playing right now. I'm not able to watch the game, and they're also going to play Friday. I'll be at the game, but I was watching the Spurs game on one TV because I don't have cable. I don't have multiple TVs in one room. So I have cable TV in my living room, and I have cable TV in my actual room. So on one TV, I had the Spurs game on, Gylan. The other game I had on the Bengals and Bills game, and I was going back and forth, and it was around 8:55 Monday night, and I saw the play happen live. And basically what happened is the Bengals it was 11-4. The Bengals were leading, and they were both vying for a conference seat in the playoffs. And basically wide receiver T. Higgins caught a 13-yard pass in Bengals territory and ran a few yards near midfield. Hamlin was waiting. Higgins lowered his right shoulder, ran into Hamlin's head and chest at full throttle, and then he falls to the ground, gets back up, and just falls. And I remember seeing him fall thinking, like, what is going on? And it was really alarming because I haven't seen anything like that happen live. And I don't think a lot of people caught it live like I did. Well, actually, probably I'm sure a lot of people caught it live, but I just so happened to catch that play live, and they didn't replay it, which I thought was odd because I saw him fall to the ground. At first, your initial reaction when you saw that play live or when I saw it live was, what's going on? It didn't make sense that he just fell to the ground. And then you started realizing, if you were somebody who watched it live, you started realizing how deep this play was and how serious this injury was because, A, they didn't replay the injury, and a lot of times they kind of do replay the injury, Gylan. Do you ever notice that? Like when you watch NFL games, sometimes they replay the injury if they go down?
It's becoming more and more rare for them to do that, right? Mm-hmm. Generally, most people, where I catch most of my NFL action, mm-hmm. I catch most of my NFL action on replays, right? Mm-hmm. And that's where I go to get my stuff is on the replay. So, I didn't see it. I had heard something about it, and they said a game had been postponed for about 20 minutes. Uh-huh. And because the game was postponed, they didn't know what was going on, right?
Right.
So it was very interesting because normally they say, oh, it's an ankle injury or it's this or it's that, but they didn't say what it was. They didn't say it was a horrific break because I honestly don't believe they knew whether Dennis, wow. Damar was alive or not.
Right.
Right. And we could, berate the fact whether what happened on the field, but I don't think people knew that he was even alive. So I think they were being very, very precautious. Mm-hmm. Probably one of the first times that we've seen the NFL really take the time to like just pause, right? Mm-hmm. And for me, it was the first time that I've ever seen somebody humanized like that by everybody in the stands, mm-hmm. right? I mean, you couldn't hear anybody. Nobody was screaming. Nobody was talking. There was no music playing. It was eerie. And at first, I kind of like it felt like a put on, right? Not that the injury was a put on, but like the emotions that were going on from everybody was a put on. But then as you learned and as you heard, you find out like 9 minutes they're compressing this guy's chest. And I don't know if anybody knows anything about CPR. I'm not a huge, I don't know.
Well, we're not doctors. CPR. We're not doctors.
Yeah, we're not doctors.
Yeah.
But I know, and I've heard when I did take CPR class, it's not unheard of for ribs and cartilage to break as you're compressing the chest, right? Because you're literally trying to get to the heart to compress the heart. 9 minutes of that.
Yeah, that was the part that was alarming to me. And I think, like, what were your feelings when you saw that happen? Because for me, at first, I was in shock. I didn't know what was going on. And I was just like, is everything okay? I saw the players crying. And like you said, everything got really quiet. And I thought something really, really grave happened. And I hope nothing grave does happen. But we quickly learned that it was worse. Way worse than we
really
thought.
want to know what I thought?
What'd you think?
Nothing. I can't take myself there. I can't take myself there with my daughters dying. I can't take myself there with my parents dying. I can't take myself there with you dying. I have a vivid, crazy, wild imagination, but I don't imagine people dying. I don't imagine death. I don't imagine, what somebody else is going through. Now, I'm not saying I never have. It's just a little bit different for me. We're all different. And you actually got upset with me because I came across kind of cold. Right? We were texting back and forth. She said, well, you wanted to text and talk about the show. And I said, yeah, I do. But I'm also like, I've listened to everybody for a while and nobody was saying anything new. Nobody knew anything. And it was just kind of like, it was like now everybody wanted to just start talking. Right.
Right.
And have an opinion. And Skip Bayless is a perfect example of somebody that should have just shut up and let it work out.
Yeah,
right?
I saw the comments that he made, and he literally got his ass torn apart by everybody in the NFL, NBA. Everybody was saying he was pretty much a scumbag for what he said because his tweet kind of came off like he was more concerned about the future of the playoff scenario for the Buffalo Bills as opposed to, the life of Damar Hamlin. And that's how I feel like it came across. It came across as really, just I think some people lack empathy, and his tweet came off like he had no empathy for what happened. And I don't really, I already know, Guylan, I don't really like to talk about talking heads and what they say about, the game, but he got a lot of backlash about that. And Shannon Sharp didn't even go on the show the next day because he refused to take the tweet down about the things that he said. We really don't talk about, what other people say, but, I want to ask you, what do you think about that? Because, what do you think about Skip Bayless's comments?
Skip Bayless is an average, very, very average individual. He's probably a great writer, but as an individual, he lacks depth. He's rather privileged. Shannon Sharp is in the Hall of Fame. Super Bowl winner. His brother was great. Skip Bayless, what? Hey, nobody's texting Skip Bayless saying, yo, we got the latest news on Tim Duncan making a return to the NBA, right? Nobody's reaching out to Skip Bayless to do anything. He is a co-host, and he's been a co-host now with two of the most popular black commentators on ESPN, on Fox Sports now. Shannon Sharp has his own podcast. He has Club Shay Shay. He is the culture. Skip Bayless, your time has passed, homie. Like, just real talk. You're average. You're average. Skip Bayless is AM. Shannon Sharp is FM. Skip Bayless is analog. Shannon Sharp is digital. Skip Bayless is radio. Shannon Sharp is the motherfucking internet. End of story.
So you think that Shannon Sharp could be successful without somebody like Skip Bayless across from him? You think that he could replace him with anybody?
Shannon Sharp is. Not could be. Shannon Sharp is. Skip Bayless needs Shannon Sharp. Skip Bayless needed Screaming A. Smith. And I think Screaming A. Smith and Skip Brainless were like two of the best. Yes, I said Skip Bayless. They're two of the best. And now listen, Skip Bayless is good at what he does, but the time's passed him by. He's the type of guy that would sit up there and say Babe Ruth is the best athlete in baseball ever, right? That's who he is. He's the one. Tom Brady is the GOAT, but he will make more excuses for somebody like Tom Brady than anybody else. He's just time. His time is gone. It's past. He's not special.
What I will say, because those are your thoughts and they're really strong. I know it's really hard for anybody in this field to get to that level. So I don't want to, completely disrespect, anybody up there because I don't know them personally. But what I will say is that the comments that he made, even though a lot of people say they lacked comprehension skills because they didn't understand what he said, I do think that they came off as insensitive at that moment. And I don't know if there was a purpose for him to troll everybody. Like, obviously, it seemed like it was kind of a troll thing. And I think there's a time and a place for that. And I don't think the injury, DeMar Hamlin's critical status where he has a cardiac arrest should be that time where you make comments like that. I will say that.
So a couple of things. Now, this is where I'm going to kind of take up for Skip Bayless. Nobody knew what was going on.
Right.
Literally, nobody knew what was going on. Unless you played the NFL and you saw those players, I don't think you could comprehend it because I couldn't comprehend it, right? And I think that's why the Shannon Sharps of the world, I think that's why the commentators of the world, I think that's why athletes were so moved by this because they knew something was wrong. Now, Skip Bayless didn't know what was wrong because Skip Bayless didn't know what the fuck was going on. With that said, and I've told you this as us being friends, it is more important for some people to be first than it is for people to be right.
Yes.
Skip Bayless cared more about being first than he cared about anything else. And because of that, he's getting his ass handed to him right now. And not only that, Skip Bayless has done more than one thing. He could consistently disrespect Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, he
Shannon
has.
Sharp is the man. Skip Bayless is the man in his own right, but he's nowhere like Shannon Sharp. Period. End of story. He's not on the same level.
No, I agree with you. I think that when you compare the two personalities, I favor Shannon Sharp over Skip Bayless, but it's kind of like you also got to think too. I mean, I don't want to stay too long on them because, like I said, I don't really like to talk about two different personalities that we don't know, ain't got nothing to do with, and it's sports personalities as opposed to sports and what's going on with them. But you need Batman to have Robin. You need to have those characters to have a dynamic that in entertainment you want to watch. So whether people like Skip Bayless or not, that's important to have.
But Skip Bayless is not even Batman.
No,
he's not Robin.
Well, so what is he? Two-Face? Joker?
Underdog? I don't know who he is.
Okay.
But he's not. He's just not. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
He's just not.
Well,
he is not the coach. He speaks for a demographic of people that, quite frankly, are out of touch with athletes.
Tone deaf. It came off as tone deaf.
That's a great way to look at it.
It came off as tone deaf. That's what I will say. And like I said, the injury was really sad. And my prayers go out to DeMar Hamlin.
Hey, you didn't notice your light wasn't blue behind you, by the way.
What color is it? Purple?
Huh?
What color is it? Purple?
It's normally blue. Never mind. It's all good. You don't even realize.
I don't realize what's going on.
I'm sitting here like, man, this show looks good. It sounds good.
It does look
and
good.
Then I'm
and
like,
it does
oh, wait,
sound
the
good.
light's not blue.
What color is it?
It was white.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
But it's normally blue. It was just white over there.
I still like it, though. I still like all the colors. I was going to tell you.
Hey, real quick, tell everybody what you got.
What'd I get?
In the mail.
Oh, I got a Dennis Rodman shirt. I don't even know who sent it to me, and I love the shirt.
You do. You saw the name on the package, but you don't know if that's their name or not.
No, I know that's not their name, because if that person would have wrote me and I recognize that name, but no, I think that's
Right. I'm saying, but that's not their name, but that is their name. That's not their Twitter handle or
Right.
Facebook or TikTok or
Right.
whatever else.
That's how come I don't know who sent it to me, and I really want to thank
Right.
them publicly. But the shirt is amazing. This shirt too, I got this from Bear County Social Apparel. Bear Apparel is a really nice shirt of Keldon Johnson. So thank you to everybody who sends me stuff in the mail. I really like it. And Gylan, you got a Manscaped shirt too. If you use my code BABE at checkout, you get 20% off your next purchase. Manscaped is a company that is the proceeds go to testicular cancer. So save the balls. You know, if you guys save the balls. If you guys have balls, this is
so Manscaped. So just let everybody know, not only is Carolina saving the balls because she likes balls.
I do like balls.
Basketballs, footballs.
Basketballs.
Her partner's balls.
Basketballs, footballs.
Basketball, right.
No, my partner does ball. He actually played semi-pro football. So yeah, I do like my
Yeah, you do
balls.
like your men. Yeah. So, but the reason
definitely.
I'm bringing that up is because Manscaped is now one of our official League of Our Own partners.
Facts. Cheers to that.
Yes.
Cheers to that. There's
So
there's
20%
water in
off your next purchase. Just put Babe. Why? And how did you get Babe? That's so crazy to me. Of all words, how was Babe still available? You would think like Babe wasn't available, right?
Yeah, and it had to be 4 letters, so I picked Babe.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I did Love at first. Love wasn't available. I was like, damn, I wanted Love, but
So when you saw, and we've been talking about Damar Hamlin, and I don't pray, just to let everybody know.
Okay.
Right? I do healing energy. I do love. So sending prayers, of course, like, yes, if you pray, I'm not going to knock you. But I just want to send healing energy and love to Damar Hamlin and his family. Because I don't know what that's like. You know, I can't imagine. I don't want to imagine. I don't want to imagine my kids or anybody else going through any of that.
Stephon Diggs was there. T. Higgins was there at the hospital. A lot of Buffalo players came out to support him. So, I mean, that's all that really matters. And, you know, there's been a history in the NFL of having these injuries on the field. These collapses are not something this is not like these medical emergencies on field. These are not things that are rare, or they happen in the NFL. This is not the first time. That's all I'm going to say. This is not something that's never happened before. You have Pittsburgh Steelers Ryan Shazier. He suffered a career-ending spinal cord injury in December of 2017. That wasn't even too long ago. That was, what's 2017? 6 years ago? Not too long ago, he had a career-ending injury on the field. Then you have Kevin Everett, Bills tight end, same team, made a tackle on the second half kickoff return. He fell motionless to the ground, and his spinal cord was nearly severed from that hit. And it ended his career, but not his love for the game. That's really sad. I mean, these people have career-ending injuries, whether that's happened in high school football, that's happened in college football, it happens at the NFL level. Football is such a dangerous sport, and I love football, but you and I were talking about this too. Have we, as you know, people who love watching football as entertainment, have people become desensitized to these athletes and their injuries? Because look at these career-ending injuries. People give up their lives literally for the sport of football. You have the effects of CTE. You have these ending injuries on the field like we see with Damar Hamlin. We don't know if his career's over, but it's happened before. You see these things happen, and then you have people who are like Skip Bayless, for example. He came off as desensitized as to what's really going on. He's a human being at the end of the day. Do you think that we, as people watching the game, have become desensitized to NFL injuries? Because that's what it seems like. Because a lot of people are like, what's the playoff scenario now? What's going to happen? Are they going to resume the game? I mean, these are all very valid questions, but every time an injury happens, somebody gets carted off the field, whether they break a leg or they break their ankle. You see these plays happen. They replay it. They show the injuries, and, you know, they resume the game as usual. Are we desensitized to these things happening?
No, I don't think we are. I think it's grown men playing a grown man sport, right? And to be quite frank, I think that the Bills and the Bengals should be playing again soon. It's part of what they do. Listen, I didn't play over high school football. The worst thing I remember is a buddy of mine, Ronnie Khalise. We were running down the field on a kickoff. He goes helmet to helmet with another guy. I hear, that's all I hear. And I'm standing over him, and I'm like, Ronnie, well, he gets taken off the field on a stretcher. He winds up in a neck brace the next day, and he's okay. I don't think, listen, this is going to come off cold. I just know it is. But I have to be honest and true. This is one man that is playing in all the sports, and I wish him the best. But I don't think we stop everything. Yes, we stop the game. We postpone the game. But at some point, we have to move on. And I think he would want us to move on, and I think his family would want us to move on at some point. I don't know when, but I think you still have to play the game. And I think maybe that week before the Super Bowl, maybe at that point, we cancel that week, and so it goes right into the Super Bowl to give them time to play the game in the next couple of weeks. But I think that we are a bit desensitized to injuries because we don't talk about them a lot. But I don't think we're desensitized to this. I think we're desensitized to the players, right? I think we're desensitized to, we always hear, well, why don't they give back? Why aren't they doing this? Why aren't they doing it? I don't think that people realize, like, Damar Hamlin had a fund for toy drive. His fund had only gained like $3,000 or $4,000.
Yeah, his goal was $2,500, and then he ended up gaining. His goal was originally $2,500.
Yeah, so he did that, and he probably donated money and everything else. Now it's over $5 million.
Insane.
These players give back to communities, not just their community, right, but to communities. And I think we're desensitized to who these players really are. Mm-hmm. I think we take these players for granted.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're desensitized to this particular thing. But I think we may be desensitized to players because you look at how people treat players on the sidelines and what they call them and dropping the N-bomb and they're thugs and they're this and they're that. Damn. I mean, that's mean. It's rude. It's evil. Why? And for the first time ever in my lifetime, I've seen an NFL player that was not desensitized, right? Dehumanized. Everybody to a person is humanizing this man. Mm-hmm. It's changing a little bit now with some bullshit that people are talking about. But yeah, this was different. And to a person, everybody's, every athlete that I've talked to, every athlete that we've watched on ESPN, Fox, all the talking heads, to a person are like, holy shit, this is unprecedented for what happened.
Yeah. And I would say there is a little bit of desensitization towards these players because their injuries are common. And I know that NFL players, they give their life to it, and this is what you sign up for. You risk getting an injury for life. You risk possibly having your spine being broken in half. Those things are what you expect as you sign up to be an NFL player, but injuries happen left and right, and games are not postponed. They don't stop games for your career-ending injuries. And do you think that the NFL's decision to wait an hour to postpone this game, do you think they took too long by letting it take an hour to postpone?
No, because nobody knew what was going on. They were playing it by ear, right?
Right.
There's a friend of mine who used to be married to a Spurs player, and I commented, and they said they saw them doing CPR. Mm-hmm. Doing CPR and somebody dying or their heart stopping on the field, now it's knowing that now is way different. We didn't know that, right? Mm-hmm. So supposedly the NFL said it was 5 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. But I don't know if they gave them 5 minutes to get back on the field or make a decision if they wanted to play or not. The NFL is pushing back and saying that's not true. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to go either way on that. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. I do know that there's a lot, right? We make these blanket statements. Mm-hmm. And Caroline and I were talking about conspiracy theories the other day and how she's a deep thinker, right? And I'm not saying that
I'm a truth seeker.
That the love of my radio life is not a deep thinker. But when you really start thinking deep, right? If you stop a game right then and there, all the traffic people have to be in place. If you stop a game right there, all the concessions have to shut down right then and there. You have tens of thousands of people that have to leave a stadium right then and there. So I think what the NFL was doing and thinking through this is not the same as they just wanted to play a game and the NFL is all about money. Sure, that was part of it, but you have to think about all the other things. The players' flights, breaking down equipment. There are major time schedules for all these things that are going on. And for us just to think like you can flip a switch and all of a sudden be like, hey, yeah, we're going to shut down the game. That shit don't happen. No. They plan, when there's a thunderstorm and there's lightning, they plan so far ahead of time on that. You know what I'm saying? So for that to happen and you all just think like, oh, well, no, people. Like, think deep. Everything's not surface.
Here's my thoughts on this. Did the NFL take too long? No, I don't think that they did. And, there was a lot of backlash that the NFL received. Roger Goodell received a lot of backlash for taking 1 hour to postpone the game. And us as viewers, us as fans, we wanted the game to be shut down immediately because everything just seems so saddened. But you have to realize and think about this from a business perspective, from a business, how Roger Goodell would look at something like this. Like, here's some food for thought, Gylan. And let's just be honest. No NFL game, according to Quirky Research, has been suspended and resumed at a later date. Now, the league's game day operations manual, I have it in front of me, it states that a game should be canceled, postponed, or terminated, and the factors that determine that are could the game be rescheduled? Could the game be relocated? Public safety and competitive integrity. And it goes by integrity as well. So there's different factors that determine can this game be postponed? We're getting to the end of the regular season. It's getting close to that time. And everybody was getting on Skip Bayless for making those insensitive comments. He said it publicly. He's not Roger Goodell. This is all the things that the NFL is thinking about. And whether or not you guys think it took too long, at the end of the day, they still postponed the game. They did the right thing. I think they went off integrity at the very end and decided to postpone the game indefinitely. Or as of right now, there's no rescheduled date. But I think they made the right move by canceling it. It's never happened before. So let's give Roger Goodell credit where credit's due. It actually ended up being canceled, and that's never happened before over a player injury. And I think he did the right thing by canceling it. So I'm not going to knock him for taking an hour to cancel it because I'm sure he was thinking about a whole lot of things prior to making that decision. And let's just be clear, an hour goes by very, very quickly. It's not like it, especially during things like this and you're getting information from all these sources, the hospital, the players, the coaches, the chain of command. These decisions are not like a flip of a switch to make. So do I think it was too long? No, I'm happy he canceled the game, but I don't think it was too long.
Yeah, it wasn't that it was too long to cancel the game.
Well, people said that it's too long. It's too long.
Right. Well, the other thing
forever.
is,
what would you have done? Like the people who said that, what would you have really done? How long would it?
What would I've done? Like as far as canceling the game?
Not you, but I'm saying the people who were like, he should have canceled it right then and there. Like, do you understand?
You don't know what's going on. Everybody's doing this. In the hindsight, whether they say hindsight is 20/20, meaning that you have perfect vision when something is done, you can't sit there. Listen, stop bitching people just to bitch.
That's what it feels like.
Say this. I'm sad. Okay, I can't tell anybody what to say, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sad because Damar Hamlin is on a ventilator right now. And his family's there and they're suffering. Mm-hmm. I'm scared for him. I would be scared for other players. I can't imagine what it's like to be a player. That's what it's about. It's not about the NFL and all. Because why are you watching the fucking NFL? You've seen everything that they do. You see how they treat women. You see how they treat their old players. All this stuff. So you're going to sit here and fuss about the NFL? Look, I boycotted the NFL for about a year and a half for Black Lives Matter. Sure did. Yep, I did it. Black Lives Matter. All right. But when was the last time you boycotted the NFL? because of head trauma, because you had a reason to do it. You're not doing it. And it's just like, it's like people want to be angry for the sake of being angry. And I think like when you texted me, I was just so frustrated because I already started seeing the energy and I knew what was going to happen the next couple of days. And it's ignorance. It's complete ignorance.
And you took it out on
I'm not
me.
smart. I'm not the smartest person in the world, but damn people.
No, and well, that's what I was going to say. I agree with you. At the end of the day, like, they canceled the game, made the right decision. Whether or not you think that took too long, an hour, it goes by so fast. I'm not going to sit here and criticize them for taking 1 hour to decide that they're going to cancel a game that something that's never happened before, and making such a big decision. At the end of the day, they went off the integrity of the situation and they made the right call. So why, like you said, bitch just to bitch and complain just to complain? You know me, I'm quick to defend players and criticize, the chain of command. But in this situation, I feel like they made the right call. So there it is.
Yeah. And so Bills Bengals rescheduled, right? I hope they reschedule the game. I hope they play the game. If they don't, I frankly don't care. I just think it would be nice if they did play the game. But I can understand why they would not play the game. And I'm okay with that. I'm not going to, listen, these guys are here to entertain me. I am privileged to be able to watch grown men beat the hell out of each other on the field day in and day out, right? That's a privilege for me. So I'm grateful and I'm thankful that on a weekend, whether it's college football or pro football, I can step back and live my dreams and fantasies through other people. That's real talk, people.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I don't think anybody understands the risk and the depth of what these players have to do and the risk that they take every single day by being out on the field. Yeah. If it gets postponed, it's going to be, or if it gets rescheduled, the playoff seating is going to be based on the winning percentages. And if there's also a possibility that they might postpone Buffalo's home game Sunday against the Patriots if the circumstances dictated, and that basically would revolve around the safety of Damar Hamlin, and it's basically all centered around that. So we don't know if they're even going to postpone the Patriots game, which is going to be interesting if that happens. So who knows if it's going to be rescheduled or not, but like I said, I'm going to trust that the NFL is going to make the right decision in that situation. And like I said, I'm reading stuff about Damar Hamlin, and it makes me sad. He's currently under sedation, under critical condition. I just can't. Yeah. That really disturbs me so much. So I'm
pretty sure that they're going to reschedule the game, Carolina. You're talking about Vegas money. You're talking about, end of the year seedings. There's a lot of things that go into this. And that's what I'm saying. Like, Damar Hamlin is one man. My heart's with him, but this is a machine. And, the only statement, the most controversial statement I'm going to make, this is 9/11 for football. This is like the 9/11 for these players. This is something that nobody is ever going to forget, that literally has affected every single player in the NFL.
Yeah, it's kind of like everybody knows where you were at when Michael Jackson died, or Selena died, or when, Michael Jackson.
When 9/11 happened.
When 9/11 happened, or when Michael Jackson dropped Thriller. We all remember these moments. I think this injury is going to be, you remember exactly where you were at when you heard about Damar Hamlin's injury. It's that big. It's that big.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm not exaggerating. I'm not being a victim of the moment. Everybody who watched the game or even heard about it is going to remember exactly where they were at when they heard about this.
Yeah, very true. Very, very true. And I'm going to remember that not a lot of people knew what the hell was going on to an hour later. Like, poor dude was on the field for he was giving CPR for 9 minutes. They had to use the defibrillator to bring his heart back. He was in the ambulance for another 20 minutes. Like,
I think
horrific. I'm not a fan of using words like that, but the thought of it was horrific. The thought of what happened is horrific.
Also, too, like, the silence, like you said, was, to me, the most eerie part about it. The silence from the players, the silence from the crowd. It just, I just want to cry.
Those players watched one of their people. Yeah. All right. It's time for rapid fire.
Okay.
Can you hold down rapid fire today? We're about to find out.
Yeah.
First rapid fire. Zion Williams is hurt again. One of the top 5 players in the NBA. One of the baddest men on a court right now. Is hurt. He has a thigh issue, hamstring issue. Carolina Teague, 45 seconds. Rapid fire. What are your thoughts?
Zion Williamson. I think the Pelicans play the Rockets tonight at 7:00, and it's going to be a real nice crazy situation to see how the Pelicans' depth is going to perform without Brandon Ingram and without Zion Williamson. And the unfortunate news is that he's been averaging 26 points, 7 rebounds, and 4.6 assists throughout the season, but he's been injured time and time again. With the Pelicans, he was injured all last year, and he's consistently dealt with injuries throughout his NBA career. He's only played a little bit over 100 games. I think it's around 114, 115 area. So, I mean, should the Pelicans move on? That's the big question that they should see at this point, because he's injured again.
The Pelicans move on from who?
Zion.
What?
I mean,
girl, please.
I mean, the Pelicans
move on from Zion Williams.
They should move on. If he continues to get injured, yes, that's like Derrick Rose. It reminds me of Derrick Rose always getting injured.
Yeah, but how long was Derrick Rose with the Bulls for? 7-8 years?
But he was always getting injured.
Yeah, but this Derrick Rose, like, you don't move on. Listen, the Pelicans were very good last year. When he was out, they're even better this year, and he is the best player on that team. You are not moving away from Zion.
Okay, but if he continues to get injured over and over again, don't.
But you didn't say that.
Okay, yeah, because I had 45 seconds.
Your hair looks amazing today, by the way.
Thank you. You look great too. I like the black shirt. I like the angle. I like the light. It looks great.
No, I had to get slimmer. I had to do a little bit slimming thing here. So
is that because it's New Year's?
Huh?
Is that because it's New Year's?
Sure. Every day is a new year, though.
No. Oh Lord, that don't make no damn sense.
You don't get me started. You already know.
Every day is not no damn New Year.
Yes, it is.
Every day is a new day. But
time is relative. You and conspiracy theories and tinfoil hats, and you believe like time is real?
I'm thinking about it.
All right, so that was a good take on Zion.
You don't like the take. You don't like the take. You think Zion?
No, I didn't like the take.
Well, because
I don't think you move on from Zion.
I mean, I wouldn't want to either because he's good, but at the same time, like, think about it. Like, Kawhi is always injured. Always.
Yeah, but would you rather have? I'd rather have the Spurs with Kawhi right now injured than not Kawhi and injured.
Why? So he could sit there and be in the back of the gym, not wanting to
play?
No,
they're still a good team. They put good people around them. Whatever.
The Spurs, when Kawhi was going through that whole debacle, they went straight downhill after that.
Yeah, they did.
Right. So it's like, I'm not saying Zion's going to do the same thing and quit, but what I'm saying is without your star player playing, your team goes downhill. But that didn't happen last year.
That didn't happen last year with them. So I don't think that's a fair assessment because that didn't happen last year with the Pelicans.
The Pelicans are actually really good.
They're a damn good team.
They're damn good. Like
without Zion, they're a damn good team. Yeah.
Hell
all right.
Yeah.
So Michigan loses again. Still has not won a national championship. They've been close. Harbaugh's been close with a lot of people. Now the rumors are Jim Harbaugh is going to leave Michigan and play somewhere in the NFL. So Carolina, 45 seconds. What do you think about Jim Harbaugh and his situation? Rapid fire.
You know, Jim Harbaugh, when he went to Michigan, I was a little bit a little bit shocked because I liked when he was the coach of the 49ers and he did a damn good job as a 49ers coach. So when he went to Michigan, I understood it was like a bigger pay increase, but I didn't understand why he decided to leave from the NFL. But he already has the NFL experience. He already has a winning record with the NFL. Leaving Michigan to play for somebody like the Denver Broncos, which has been rumored to have happened, that would be a plus for them. The Denver Broncos are trash right now, but reportedly Even though they've reached out to him, Jim Harbaugh might not be interested. It's his decision. He's a great coach regardless.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I think he is a really good coach. I think he is doing a good job, but he needs to get over that hump. I really think it's important for him to get over that hump. But yeah, as Jim Harbaugh. But listen, I'm excited about this one. I'm excited to get your take on this, Miss Carolina. I already know who I'm rooting for. Oh, hell, did I mess this up? I did mess this up. Okay, give me 30 seconds. Go.
Oh, right now?
No, just.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, it's
anyway,
okay.
no. I know what I'm going to do. Don't worry about it.
You don't got to worry about the damn. Oh, well.
No, but yeah, no, I do.
Yeah.
Because haters going to hate. Okay, so we don't have a graphic for it. I took down the graphic, but we're good.
Okay.
So you have 45 seconds rapid fire. TCU. Go Frogs. Under Frogs instead of underdogs. I'm calling them Under Frogs. I came up with that. I'm going to make a t-shirt. Under Frogs. They are the Under Frogs. They are the underdogs. They are the little kid on the block. They are the little brother. Everybody's expecting them to for Georgia to kick their ass. Not only that, TCU was 200-1 odds to make 200-1 to make the college football championship game. Carolina Teague, 45 seconds. We call this rapid fire.
What is my talking about?
What do you think about TCU? What do you mean? What is the
TCU? How I think it's gonna play out?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Bam, go.
Oh, first of all, I was pretty stunned that TCU ended up pulling off the upset to Michigan, which was an incredible feat on its own. And this is they're vying for their third title against Georgia. It's going to be a little bit crazy. The keys to victory, because Georgia has a damn good team, and Stetson Bennett was in the running for a Heisman Trophy. Georgia's keys to victory in a game is always going to be control the ball on offense, limiting the big plays on defense, because they have issues with their they have issues on that side of the ball. But my big thing is Mattress Mac. He put a big, huge bet for TCU to win. He put $3 million on the line, and I might kind of have to do what Mattress Mac did, kind of win a little bit of money.
Okay, so are you going to bet TCU?
I think I am going to bet, but I don't know if I should bet for TCU to win. I think I'm going to really do my homework and research whether I'm going to go over and under. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, see, I like the 200-1 bet because of how much money you could have won. You only double your money on, if you put $100 down on the line or whatever else.
All these goddamn TCU fans, you know what I'm saying? How many of y'all put your money where your mouth is?
Well, that's what they're saying. You would have seen the ticket somewhere. That was just for them to make it. I don't even know what the odds are for them to win.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I wonder what the odds are to win.
I'm sure they're slimmer than the 200-1.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah. All right, so that was a good rapid fire.
It was decent. You didn't like my Zion one, so
no.
You could go. No, you could.
No, that is okay. All right. So this is what we've been doing as of late, and I think people love it. We've been getting a lot of love for what's going on, right?
Okay.
It is called This or That.
Okay.
Wah, wah, wah. First one. NCAA, football, or the NFL? Which one has your heart? Which one would you date?
I would date the NFL.
Okay.
And the reason why is because the NFL is my first love. I fell in love with the NFL because I'm a huge Bears fan. I love following the NFL. I love watching the sport. I love watching the games. They really interest me. I've never been bored watching an NFL game except for the Patriots Super Bowl, the last Super Bowl the Patriots were in, where it was really slower than molasses. That was the only one I didn't like. Sometimes Super Bowls really bore me. The main show, I like NCAA championships way better than Super Bowls, but give me the NFL because that's my first love, and I don't want to let it go. There's a lot of stupid-ass scandals that they've had, but the NCAA, too, they had their scandals as well. They've never played paid college players, treated them like crap. I don't like how they did Reggie Bush, stripped him from all of his accolades, and he still can't get them back. So they all have scandals that I like and I don't like. But I got to go with the NFL all day long. What would you guys go with?
It's tougher. I like that they're broadening. First of all, I like the players are being paid in the NCAA, the NIL deals. I like the fact that
I like those too.
I like the fact they're getting paid. I also like the fact that they're expanding the playoff series. Mm-hmm. So for me, I probably NFL just because of the elite level, but I could see where the NCAA in the next 2 to 3 years might steal my heart, because I think the pageantry, I think watching these kids, literal kids, extremely young men grow and prosper and play purely for the love of the game is something that's really special. So NFL, but close second is the NCAA.
You know what? I'm with you on that. I think in a couple years, the NCAA can steal my heart. Some people love the NCAA. I think they might steal my heart soon if the NFL keeps making all these crappy mistakes that they've made in regards to external affairs.
Okay. Now, I got one that might stump you.
Okay.
The next this or that.
These things always surprise me.
Bowling or pickleball?
What the hell?
You don't know what pickleball is, do you? No.
What is that?
Pickleball is a smaller tennis court that are played with smaller pallets and like this wiffle ball, heavy ball type thing. And they're huge. In San Antonio, we actually have a pickleball club that you can go to and drink and eat and party and play pickleball at the same time.
Somebody messaged me recently and they said that cornhole is getting really big as a sport in San Antonio. And they told me to come check out one of their tournaments. So
that is like, why not just poke out my eyes?
What? Cornhole, people like cornhole. I mean, okay, so why can't we? Okay, but pickleball is supposed to be something we're supposed to be into. Is that what you're saying?
It's pickleball. You have to have some athleticism to play pickleball.
You don't think you have to have athleticism to play cornhole? You have to have
not at all.
You have to have good hand-eye coordination.
That's not athleticism. No, not at all. I'm sorry. I mean, listen, cornhole is fun, but no.
Well, I want to go check it out. I mean,
I think it'd be cool to check out. But it's not pickleball or bowling.
I don't know I've never heard of pickleball. Bowling is fun, so give me bowling. I like bowling. I like cosmic. Okay. Give me cosmic bowling over everything.
Cosmic bowling.
I love cosmic bowling.
There used to be like rock and bowl back in the day at the bowling alley off of where was that at? Off of anyway, here in San Antonio, and me and my buddy would go, and I would dance and bowl at the same time. So it was a lot of fun. I wouldn't dance with my buddy. I would just dance. So
now, if they had cosmic pickleball, I'll go to that.
Anything with balls you like, Carolina? Anything with balls you like?
I love balls. You guys know pickleball, bowling. Use my code BABE, 20% off manscaped.com. Support League of Our Own podcast. You guys purchase something, use my code, show us some love. And, thank you to Manscaped for sponsoring us. I love balls, whether it's to my left or to my right. Bowling balls, pickleballs. I kind of like bigger balls a little bit more. So
okay, Carolina. Moving on. Okay, I'm about to start World War III. Okay? You ready?
Yes.
This or that, salsa or guacamole? Which one?
This is so tough. Why are you doing this to a Mexican? I'm going to cry because this is making me emotional for no reason. You can't make me choose. Do I have to choose?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, no. You're choosing.
Why?
You can't lose your green card any way it goes.
Look, first of all, shout out to all my green card family and friends.
Hey, shout out to the undocumented workers too that allow us to have strawberries for cheap shit and apples and everything else that people pick off a tree that nobody else wants to do. I love my folk from south of the border, regardless of where you're from.
Okay, what were you saying about
what's up with your earrings? Now that looks funny. Salsa or guacamole?
You said shout out to your south of the border. Who does what? We pick what?
My south of the border people.
My family were, they were migrant workers.
Okay. So
my mom
salsa or
was
guacamole?
No, hold on. Let me just make this statement real quick. My family was migrant workers. They picked cucumbers and strawberries. They really do break their backs to pick all the damn fruits, all the goddamn salsa.
It's just hard.
All the salsa that you see on the table, all the
For
guacamole,
reals.
they're picked by my people, my heritage, my background. So, support migrant workers and show them love if you can, because they literally work in the hot sun. They prick themselves with the thorns of the plants, and it is just back-breaking work. So shout out to Jesus, who brings every time you
Carolina.
okay.
Guacamole or salsa?
You see how I'm trying to avoid the topic.
All right.
Give me guacamole.
Me,
Give me guacamole. Give me guacamole.
guacamole all day long.
Yeah. Give me guacamole.
Yeah. To me, guacamole is like peanut butter.
Yes.
It's amazing. Now, salsa is fire, but this is the thing. You can put salsa in the guacamole, and it's like,
That's what I do.
You know what I'm saying?
That's actually what I do. I put salsa.
Okay.
Well, can I tell you this, though? I knew you weren't going to pick salsa because you don't like spicy food. That's the one thing I don't like about you as my radio husband. You do not like salsa. You don't like spicy food.
I like to taste my damn food.
You can taste your food with with jalapenos and serrano.
No, you cannot taste your food with jalapenos and serrano.
Yes, you can.
Maybe you can. I can't.
You need to learn how to build your spice tolerance. I think you should try to do that.
Hell no. Nope. I have no reason to.
You should.
Why?
No, because it's 2023. I'm your radio wife, and you need to learn how to build your spice tolerance.
I have two daughters from two different women. One, they're both Latinas, Afro Latinas or African Latinas, whatever the hell you want to call them. And one will get the spiciest food, and the other one's just like it doesn't matter to her.
And what that got to do with your radio wife?
That they eat it for me.
What that got to do with you trying to eat spicier food?
I am not going to burn my damn tongue off. No. There's nothing cute to me to snot coming out my nose when I eat something.
You're exaggerating. If you build your spice tolerance, that's not going to happen. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's not going to happen, period.
In 2023, I'm going to build your spice tolerance. That's what we're doing this year. Seriously, because I'm tired of you complaining all the time about how you don't like spicy food. And
First of all, when you feed me or you bring me some food, which has never happened before, then you can tell me what I can eat.
Well, I am.
And I don't mind eating off your styrofoam plates either. So, because we know that's how Carolina serves. China.
I'm paper plate gang for life, for sure. It's cheap. What you want me to say?
PPG actually is more expensive in the long run.
Can I just say, I'm just going to say this real quick. I knew you'd pick guacamole because you're a little pansy when it comes to spicy food. But I will say, did you know that guacamole is considered Mexican butter? Did you know that? I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
That's what they call it, Mexican butter. That's what guacamole is, avocado.
Do they call it mantequilla? Is it mantequilla? Is that butter?
Mantequilla is butter, yeah.
Yeah, so they don't call it Mexican butter. They call it Mexican mantequilla.
No, they call it Mexican butter.
Okay. So south of the border, they call it Mexican butter?
No, they call it guacamole.
All right. Tell the people bye.
Okay, guys. Thank you guys so much. If you guys want to support League of Our Own podcast, thank you guys so much for watching. I love y'all so much. And we'll be back next Wednesday. Same time, same place. And use my code Manscaped at manscaped.com to purchase your ball needs. Use my code BABE. And me and Gylan, my radio husband, we're going to be back. Thank you, Gylan, for producing a great show. We'll see you guys next week.